Stop checking your banking app. If you have been logging in every morning hoping to see a pending notification, you are looking too early, but the wait is almost over. We are currently in the middle of the longest financial drought of the year for SSI recipients. You haven't received a deposit since December 31st. That is nearly 30 days of silence, 30 days of stretching groceries, 30 days of wondering when the next relief is coming. Well, the Social Security Administration has officially confirmed the schedule, and I have good news. You do not have to wait until February 1st. Because of a specific calendar quirk in 2026, your money, including the new 2.8% COLA increase, is being released early. In this update, I am going to confirm the exact date the funds will hit your Direct Express card or bank account. I am going to break down the new maximum payment amounts for individuals and couples so you know exactly what to look for. But more importantly, I need to warn you about a hidden cut that is happening to thousands of SSI beneficiaries right now. Because your SSI went up this month, your SNAP food stamps might be going down next month. I'm going to show you the math on why that happens and how to stop it. And stick around until the end, because we need to talk about the $2,000 asset limit. With the new higher payments in 2026, you might be accidentally putting your entire eligibility at risk without even realizing it. Let's get into the details. Welcome back to the channel. If you are on supplemental security income, you know that January is always the hardest month. Technically, you already got your January payment. It arrived on December 31st. That means you have had to make that one check last for 31 long days. And with inflation still eating up the grocery bill, that is almost impossible. But the calendar is finally turning in your favor. Let's talk about the February 2026 payment date. Normally, SSI is paid on the first of the month. However, look at your calendar for February. February 1st, 2026 is a Sunday. The Social Security Administration never sends payments on a weekend or a federal holiday. When the first falls on a Sunday, they move the payment to the Friday before. That means your next deposit is scheduled for Friday, January 30th. This is confirmed. This is locked in. This means you have roughly 1 week left to wait. For those of you with early direct deposit banks like Chime, Current, or some credit unions, you might even see that money post as early as Wednesday, January 28th. But for the majority of you, including Direct Express users, Friday the 30th is your payday. Now, I see a lot of confusion in the comments saying, wait, does this mean I get a bonus? Does this mean I get 2 checks in January? Technically, yes. You are getting 2 checks in the calendar month of January. You got one on January 1st and one on January 30th. And this is critical, the check arriving next Friday is for February. It is not a bonus. It is not a stimulus. It is your bill money for next month arriving 2 days early. This is important because once you get paid on January 30th, you will not see another dime until February 27th. February is a short month, so the wait won't be as painful as January was, but you still need to budget carefully. Now, let's talk about the money. If you were disappointed by your January check, you aren't alone. The 2.8% cost of living adjustment is officially in effect. However, many of you saw smaller increases than you expected. Let's reconfirm the maximum federal amounts for 2026, so you can verify your deposit next Friday. For an individual, the new maximum federal benefit is $967. This is up from roughly $943 last year. That is an increase of roughly $24 a month. For a married couple, the new maximum is $1,450. This is up from roughly $1,415 last year. That is an increase of roughly $35 a month. Now, I can hear you saying, I don't get $967, I get $600. Why? Remember, SSI is a needs-based program. If you have any other income, maybe a small pension, maybe free housing from a family member, the SSA subtracts that from your $967 total. This is called countable income. However, next Friday's check should still reflect that 2.8% boost compared to what you were getting in 2025. But here is the trap I mentioned in the beginning. This is the part that makes people angry, and rightly so. It's the SNAP reduction. Did you get a letter from the food stamp office recently? Thousands of SSI recipients are reporting that their food stamps were cut this month. Here is the math of why that is happening. The SNAP program has income limits. When your SSI went up by $24, the SNAP computer system saw that as you have more income. Because you have more money, they reduce your food stamp benefit. Sometimes, for every $3 your income goes up, your food stamps go down by $1. So, the government gives you a $24 raise in SSI, but then takes away $8 or $10 in food stamps. It feels like you are running in place. If your SNAP benefits were cut drastically, I'm talking about losing $50 or $100, you need to appeal that immediately. The COLA increase should not wipe out your entire food budget. Check your deductions. Did your rent go up in January? Did your medical expenses go up? If you report those higher expenses to the SNAP office, you might be able to get your food stamps back up. Don't just accept the cut letter. Fight it. Now, I want to pivot to a very serious warning for next Friday's payment. This is the $2,000 danger zone. The asset limit for SSI has not changed for 2026. It is still stuck at $2,000 for individuals and $3,000 for couples. This limit has not been updated since 1989. It is outdated, it is unfair, but it is the law. Here is the danger. With the COLA increase, your bank account is getting slightly more money each month. If you are a frantic saver, if you try to save every penny for an emergency, you might be inching closer to that $2,000 limit. Let's say you have $1,500 in savings. Next Friday, you get your $967 deposit. Suddenly, your bank balance is $2,467. Technically, on the day the check hits, you are over the asset limit. Now, usually, the SSA gives you a grace period to spend the money that month. But if you don't spend it, if you keep saving it, and your balance stays over $2,000 at the end of the month, the SSA can suspend your benefits. They can shut off your checks completely until you spend down the money. So, while we all want to save, be very careful. Do not let the new 2026 payment amounts push you into a suspension. If you need to save more than $2,000, you need to look into an ABLE account. I've talked about this before. An ABLE account allows you to save up to $100,000 without it counting against your SSI. If you became disabled before age 26, you qualify. It is the only legal way to hide money from the SSA asset limit. Now, looking ahead, let's talk about the schedule for the spring. Because of how the dates fall this year, we are going to see a lot of early payments. February payment arrives January 30th. March payment arrives February 27th. April payment arrives April 1st. May payment arrives May 1st. Notice that March is another skip month. You get paid January 30th and then February 27th. So, in the calendar month of March, you will physically receive 0 checks. This isn't a bad thing. It just means the money came early in late February. but you need to mark your calendar now so you don't panic on March 1st. Finally, I want to address the hope for 2026. Is there any chance the asset limit will be raised? Is there any chance the marriage penalty will be fixed? There is a bill called the SSI Savings Penalty Elimination Act. It has bipartisan support. Republicans and Democrats actually agree on this. It would raise the asset limit from $2,000 to $10,000. Imagine having $10,000 in the bank and not worrying about losing your benefits. That bill is currently sitting in Congress. It has not passed yet. But with the new tax season starting, there is a push to get it attached to a larger tax bill. I am tracking this bill daily. If it moves, if they call a vote, you will be the first to know. So, here is your action plan for Friday, January 30th. Check the time. Direct deposits usually hit between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. Check the amount. Verify it is roughly $967. Check your SNAP. Did your food stamps load correctly? Or did they drop? Check your balance. Are you staying under $2,000? If your check does not arrive on Friday the 30th, wait until the mail runs. If you use Direct Express and the system is down, check the mobile app, not the website. The app is usually more stable. And remember, SSI is not Social Security retirement. Retirement checks come on Wednesdays. SSI comes on the 1st. Don't let the schedules confuse you. This year, 2026, is going to be a year of tight budgeting. The COLA was small. Inflation is still here. But knowing the exact dates and knowing the traps, like the SNAP reduction, gives you the power to plan. We will be here for every single update. When that check hits on Friday, let me know in the comments if the amount was correct. Stay safe, watch your assets, and I'll see you in the next update.